Let's get some shoes. Let's get some shoes. Let's get these shoes. I'm your host, Mikey from the Crochet Crowd. Today we're going to do an assortment of flowers that you can apply to your sneakers. These are fabric-based sneakers. You're going to need a heavy-duty fabric glue or hot glue, whatever your intentions are. Depending on where you're using these shoes, you may really want to consider the glue. So we're going to begin. I'm going to be using Patons Grace yarn, which is a mercerized cotton. I'm going to be using a 2mm size bead crochet hook. This is recommending a 2.75mm hook, a US 1, and it's also recommending Aunt Lydia's classic crochet thread, which is size 10, but I don't have that, so I'll be using these instead. So my flowers will be a little bit bigger because of it. So let's begin. We're going to work in order in the pattern. We're going to go from center to petals to French rose to peacock to small red flower. So you'll see the video chapters on the time markers if you'd like to skip the flower. So you're just going to start off immediately with the center flower, and we're going to start with the color A, whatever color that is for you, and you'll be chaining 2. So 1 and 2, and let's begin round number 1. So beginning round number 1, we're going to go second chain from the hook, which is the first chain, and you are going to just put in 6 single crochet in there. So we have 1 and 2 3 4 5 and 6. We're moving on to round number 2. It does not say to change the color, and it does not say to join, so we will not do either. Round number 2, we're going to go 6 chain from the hook. So if you want to count it back so it's easier for you to see, so count it right from here. So 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. I always will count back regardless of my skill level, and I'm going to start in the 6th one away, and we're going to place in 2 single crochet into each. Now, because of the dexterity of my hands, I struggle a little bit. So if you're seeing me struggle like crazy, it's just because my hands don't work as well as they used to in my younger years. However, if you love it as much as I do, you figure out a way. So as soon as there's more to hold, it's a lot easier for me. So I'm placing 2 single crochet into each of the stitches all the way around. So you would have noticed is that there is a large circle opening in the center. You'll see that on the sample as well. If you hate that, or that's a terrible word, but if you don't like it, then you can use a adjustable ring or a magic circle for the very beginning, and then you can just pull it shut. So you're going to go all the way around, 2 into each, and then you are going to slip stitch to the first stitch. So just go into the first stitch and pull through and through. So I will show you on this one how to get rid of your tails. So just pull up on there. If you went over top of the center like I did with this tail is officially already tucked in, but if you didn't, make sure you use a tapestry needle and hide it in. And so this will be the only time I'm demonstrating how to weave in the ends on this tutorial today. So the needle size will matter probably the most. Just go through, and if it's too loose, it's going to be a real problem. So you do want it to be a little bit tough to get in there. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it today, but it is true. Okay, so you're just going to go back and forth a total of 3 times. Okay, and then you can just safely cut that down. So after you get your pieces made, you're going to be able to glue it. So if you would have done a magic circle or an adjustable ring, the center would have been closed off. So for the center flower, I did a magic circle or an adjustable ring, and then I followed the pattern as is. I prefer it with the hole. I think it looks better, and that's something that you can decide for yourself. So that's what I would consider doing. So just stick with the pattern because I think it looks better and will match the rest of your samples. So let's begin on the petals. So just grab your center that you created. There's a total of 12 double crochets all the way around, and you were just going to slip stitch it to any of the single crochet. just going to pull through and through to join. Now, you are going to then chain 1, and in the very next stitch, you are going to place in 2 double crochet. So 1 and 2. And then we need to come back down to the center. So in order to do that, then you're going to then chain 1 and slip stitch into the next. And that's going to be your repeat all the way around. So to restart another petal, you are going to then start by chaining 1. I want to keep things as tight as possible, so just chain 1 and then jump to your next single crochet and place in 2 double crochet. So we have 1 and 2, chain 1 and come back down to the center and slip stitch. Okay, you're going to do that all the way around. So you'll just chain 1, next single crochet, place in 2 double crochet, chain 1, and then come on down to the next one for a slip stitch. So do this all the way around for the petal flower. So I'm coming all the way around and I came back. There's a total of 6 petals, and I am just going to finish off this yarn. I've already shown you how to weave in your ends with your tapestry needle, so you'll make sure that you secure the very loose end, and also I would also secure the first one as well to make sure that gets stuck right in there beautifully, and therefore you have your first one for your set of shoes. So let's move on to your next one of the French rose. Let's begin your French rose, starting with a slip knot, and you're going to start, it's only 1 round, and it is a chain 7 to begin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And we're going to slip stitch into the 7th one away, which is the first one, to create the center of your rose. Okay, and now let's begin round number 1. Okay, there's only 4 petals on this French rose, and so you're going to start off by chaining 1, and you are going to place in 3 half double crochets into the ring. So we have 1, 2, and 3. Now you are going to slip stitch into the ring, and so that was 1 of 4. So to restart again, you're going to chain 1 and place in 3 half double crochet into the ring. So we have 1, 2, and 3, and then slip stitch back into the ring. Okay, so that was 2 of 4. You can move stuff around in the ring because it's just circling the ring. It's not actually attached to it, like as far as like being anchored in. So to start another one, just chain 1, 3 half double crochet into the center of the ring. So we have 1, 2, and 3. I'm just gonna grab it and kind of pull on it to open the ring up more. And then you're going to slip stitch into the ring. And then you're going to do your last one. My hands don't work as well as they used to. Okay, so we're gonna chain 1 to start, and then 3 half double crochet into the ring. So we have 1, 2, and 3. So if it's starting to overlap, just kind of pull on it to open that ring to force it around. So after your 3rd one is in, you were just going to slip stitch into there. Okay, just slip stitch into the ring, and therefore you're done. So you should have what it appears to be 4 petals, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you're just going to secure in your loose ends. I've already shown you that in today's tutorial, so you can do that, and therefore the French rose would then be complete. And I'll be right back in a moment. we're going to begin the Peacock Flower next with any color you would like to do. And you are going to chain 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So now that we have our 4, we're going to come all the way back to the first one and use the back hump or the back bar of the stitch. And in this, you are going to apply a slip stitch. So come on back. So slip stitch first, and then you are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch again. And you're going to do that a total of 4 times. Okay, so the 4 times is chain 3, so this is 1, 2, 3, and you are going to come in to the very first one and slip stitch. Just like that. So 1, 2, 3, come into the same one. So your goal essentially is to be able to see a total of 5 petals. So 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch in. Okay, so how many petals do I see? I see 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got my 5th one in, and once that's done, you were then going to finish off. Okay, so now what we need to do is just to trim our yarn. And we need to secure that with our tapestry needle. So this here is completely exposed. So they're asking you to put this into a tapestry needle and pull it closed. So I have the first one in here. So I'm just looking where it's coming out of. And so I just want to go a little bit around so I can pull that shut. It's almost kind of like securing a magic circle or an adjustable ring. So I'm just going to pull that, and then I'm going to go in the opposite direction. And like I had mentioned before, I believe, is that if you go between plies and not just between strands, it gets stuck a lot better. And we're going to get that done. So then the ending piece is just like you would do it. Just like you would do it regularly. So we can get rid of that one. And then put this through a tapestry needle and also do the same thing, and therefore it'll be a nice little mini flower just like that. So when I secure it, I'm going to pull it around so that it will look completely done. So please do that, and I'll be right back. So now you end up with a little mini flower, and therefore it looks pretty cool. So now we're going to do the small red flower next. So let's begin the last flower of the set, and it's a small red flower, any color you would like to use, and you're going to chain 2. And then 6 single crochet second chain from the hook. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And once you have that done, you are going to then slip stitch to the first stitch and get rid of this color. Okay, so you already know how to fasten in your ends, so just weave in what you have, and we're moving on to round number 2 next. Okay, let's begin the second round. It's more simpler than I expected. And you're just gonna slip stitch into any of the single crochets that you'll have. So make sure it's already on the hook. And I would change this to a standing single crochet because it will look nicer. So it's already on the hook. Pull the yarn through, but not through the first loop, and then pull through the 2 loops, and that's a standing single crochet. So all they want you to do for this particular round is to put in a chain 1, and then in the next stitch, just a single crochet. So chain 1, and then go to the next stitch, single crochet. So chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. Nice thing about some of these flowers is that even if you have an extra stitch by accident, I don't think it really matters too much. Because I think in the world of crochet, I don't think perfection is really a thing. I think it's a man-made construct. Oh my God, I'm using words. Big ones. Okay, so then you'll chain 1 at the end, and then you'll slip stitch to the first standing. And therefore this flower is then complete. And you'll weave in your ends, and you'll be good to go. So it's really quite simple when you're looking at it from the whole. These actually make a kind of a good Canada Day or United States holiday kind of shoe if you added some blue in there for the United States. So weave this in. We have one more thing to do. To do an embroidery French knot, all you're just going to do is put your yarn onto your tapestry needle, and you were going to come through from the back of the flower in. And when we go back through this flower, we don't want to be in the same position. We want to just be somewhere different so it gets stuck. So just pull some yarn through. Okay, and now lay down your needle in front like this. And now take this strand and wrap it once and wrap it twice. And just kind of hold everything in a position, and then go down through the petal in a different location like that, and securely just push things through. And this will cause it to knot onto itself like that. Okay, so if you wanted to do it again, you can come to the next petal, just stay in behind, and pull the yarn through. Lay down the needle in front, and take this and go up over the top of it, around, and up over the top. So it's wrapped twice. Just grab everything nicely together and come into the petal, same one, but in a slightly different location. And now carefully just pull this through. And that will lock onto itself, just like the other one did. So you can opt to do these little embroidery French knots if you want to. It's kind of a cool little look, but if you don't want to invest your time into that, that's completely optional for you. Once you're all the way around, you'll just secure in the ends. This stays on the back of the petal, so you will not see it, and then you can just circle all the way around with the 5 and doing the embroidery French knots if you want to. So now it's up to you to do as many as you need to do. Start decorating up those shoes, and it did have a big note on there. If you're gonna put this on a child's shoe, make sure that you're using heavy duty fabric glue, and this would be how you would do all of your little flowers that you have. And have fun with the colors and just be really quite exciting. And I would love to see your creativity on the crochetcrowd.com on the Facebook or on social media like Instagram. Hashtag us, the Crochet Crowd. We'll see you. Bye-bye.